you doing?
Good day, mate.
What's that?
Good day, mate.
I don't know what it means.
That's what they say in Australia.
Okay.
We're trying to promote the game. We all have a responsibility to do that, whether we're an organization, a group of coaches, players. We've got to promote the game and we've got to do it worldwide.
It's going to be special, but for sure we're going there for a training camp. You know, it's not going to be like a vacation.
A fresh environment for training camp, an opportunity to reestablish our game and our team identity.
The travel it's a really big deal, and you know, whatever, it's 15 hours on a plane, it's 17 hours time zone change, and so there's a lot of work that goes into preparing a really good sleep plan. One of the reasons it's so important is that we're traveling and starting training camp immediately after getting off the plane, and that's really unique. Yeah, arrival day was the day that we scripted the most. We worked very closely again with our sleep consultant and Todd, but we knew we weren't going to skate on day one. That was sort of agreed upon early on, and so we had the full day to figure out the absolute best plan to set them up for success on day two. So they had a very sort of strict schedule that they were provided with and expected to follow, but there was an opportunity for a nap when we got to the hotel. So they had a small window of about an hour if they wanted to nap, and again they were then having to get up and get to another meeting. So again, we get into a team lunch, and exactly after the team lunch we all moved to the training facility over at Rod Laver Arena, and then we took them through a pretty specific workout. It looked probably generic to the average eye, but we did a lot of things in that workout that we felt would set them up not only for a good first day and feeling like they can kind of power through the day, but also we had to think about the next day, which was the first day on ice. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't too easy, that it didn't really affect them, but at the same time, we just got off a plane. We don't want to go too hard.
From a performance standpoint, obviously it's hard to go and play 2 hockey games halfway around the world. So the guys had to reacclimate to being in a different time zone, and all of the standard things that you do when you're traveling, good hydration, good nutrition, came into play, getting to sleep when you could.
Traditionally, Coach McClellan, his 3 hardest days of the year are typically the first 3 days of training camp, and so we really had to make sure that we could do everything possible to make sure the players were physically ready to sort of hit the ground running.
There's 2 sides, I always thought, to Australia. Like, there's the business side and there's the hockey side. And it was a weird camp from a hockey side, but a really cool camp from a business side and from an experience side. Like, for starters, you have a few new guys in this group. You have Pierre-Luc Dubois, you have Cam Talbot, Andreas Englund, guys who have joined the organization. And this provided an early season bonding experience that I don't think you'd have in a normal year.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Great catch.
This is a really big camp for this team, and we're throwing things in the blender. Like, we're doing things so differently in a year where you want consistency. But once they got there, I think that everyone really embraced the experience.
Oh, I was going to catch that. That was awesome. I thought it was going over that way. That was crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a picture and photo opportunity to welcome the NHL to Melbourne. First time in the Southern Hemisphere. We can't wait. So as we speak, we are mid-flight laying down the rink in Rod Laver Arena. 2 matches, LA Kings versus Arizona Coyotes. Welcome everybody, welcome NHL. This is going to be a cracking event for the first time in history. Thanks everybody.
The Kings are a team with expectations, right? They're a team that is now in a place where they're competing to win. And you imagine those are the kind of teams the league wants to see. And you imagine the Kings are an organization that wants to be one of the first teams to be in these types of markets.
If you're playing for Los Angeles, there's a few teams in our leagues, they're the prime team, and we get called to do some of these. Like when we were during a rebuild, I told the league we'll hold on it. But now that our team is flipping, we're going to be part of a lot of different events in the next 4 or 5 years, and it's important that we're in the forefront of it. Like you've seen it. Like the Dodgers do it, the Lakers do it, and that's what the Kings should do.
A little something for you, Mr. Minister.
Lovely.
Just so you have a favorite team from now on, I guess. There you go. No problem. Of course.
It was interesting, like you're on the other hemisphere, but that first day of practice, when they were just out there playing, it just felt normal. It just felt like you were in a normal training camp.
Vamos. Let's go.
Yeah, with you, Liv. Another one. Oh my God, almost there.
Get the rebound, buddy.
Hit Kobe. Oh boy. Good screen, Q. Did you score? No, here's the crossbar. Oh my God.
In a normal year, the first 2 skates, you would have Group A, Group B. They'd be here at TSPC, and they would be intertwined between your veteran guys and your younger prospects. This year, it was just Group A in Australia, Group B in El Segundo. So it was 28 guys in Australia, all of whom either had NHL experience or were very experienced within the organization.
Push, push. Before currently, push, push.
In some ways, it actually felt better because you had your group. And Todd McClellan always likes to say, like, if we could just have our 27, 28 guys from the get-go and dive right in, it might actually help us, at least from his perspective. And he had that for those first couple of days.
Okay, the good thing about being on this ice is we have to work on the forecheck. There's too much ice to cover. So if you're in dot lane here and they're coming out there, you're sprinting. It's not casual. Okay, we'll breathe. We'll get enough rest, but we're going hard.
It made sense why the Kings brought the group that they did, because everyone in that group knew how the Kings played or have played in the NHL. Like Dubois doesn't know how the Kings play, but he has a lot of NHL experience. And Jacob Doty, the only guy who didn't have NHL experience, has been with the Reign for 4 years now. He knows how the Kings play. So the Kings could dive right in to structure and systems-based stuff, knowing that just about every skater on the ice knows what they're talking about.
Oh boy. That was in. What are you yelling at? That was in. That was in. Oh, come on. You're sure you can fall off? Look at Dewey right now. He's sure we're going to get to it. You have way more time wide than you do net. But if you're not sure, you got to hold it. Yeah. Okay? You just play hockey. You're doing a good job. Let's go! Let's go! What a drive. Drive, Rosie. Good job, local boy. Oh. Hey, you know what? It's a yellow. Warning. Warning. That's got to be red.
Jordan, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you too. I know, Jordan, born here, but you left at a very early age, but coming back knowing you were the first Australian-born player in the NHL, what is this experience? How are you taking this all in this week?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't realize that was the first one, but obviously 2 years ago when I realized that it's pretty cool. And coming here and not expecting for us to even play games here, it's a pretty cool experience, and we're going to be here for the next six-some days, so I'm going to take it all in and actually remember it this time when I go back.
Yeah. What have you done since your feet hit the ground here? What have you enjoyed?
I heard it's there's the most coffee shops per capita in the world, so I've had more caffeine in 3 days than I have in probably 3 weeks back home, so that's number one. I'm bouncing off the walls here. I'm just seeing everything. It's been really fun. There's no language barrier, so that's easy to get around, but yeah, it's been great. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. Luke, yeah, good. How you doing?
You enjoying Australia?
Yeah, it's unbelievable here.
Yeah.
It's so cool, yeah.
I don't know what exactly we're supposed to be doing here, guys. I feel like we're just having a casual like 5 other people just like full on.
Are you two-handed backhand? I'm a one-handed backhand. It's my weakness.
Yeah, you're more confident on the forehand. I can see it.
It's great for our brand to be able to be the first team to go there. It's great for the league, for people to see the NHL level of hockey.
So you always been in LA?
Just got here like 3 months ago. I got traded, yeah. So that's nice.
We want to make sure the players have a good experience.
You want to do a real serve against me and see if I can get it?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh my goodness.
Like that?
Like how the hell do you guys hit it like this?
I just drop it down. I mean, to meet another professional from another sport is always fun. Get to know a little bit about their sport. It's always fun to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and learn about other things. It's official. I'm a Magpie. Where's the contract?
You like only tried like twice, and I had absolutely no chance. So, I mean, I expected that because I guess you'd have the same difficulties against me playing hockey. Oh, that one. Woo. That's one of the cooler moments I've had in sports, playing against a professional tennis player.
It should just bounce right back to you. Go
balls
forward.
The balls
so
are
kind of like push the tip down.
That was a pass, guys. Come on.
Oh, you're getting a jersey. Yeah.
Surprised my name fits on the back.
Seriously, eh?
The experience itself has been really good. It's also as good as you're willing to make it. And we talked as a group that we were getting something out of this trip. We were going to get better as a team. We were going to get closer as a team, regardless of what was in front of us. To this point, I think we've achieved those goals.
I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised with how many people are out here and how many LA Kings jerseys you saw. You saw some other teams' jerseys too. So the support right off the bat is great, and I hope a lot of Australian people that don't know about hockey come to watch the game, because hockey's a great sport and it's very entertaining. And if you can watch it live, it's even better.
We're heading into first exhibition game. So what always happens, officials are going to call everything. They're told to call everything. But it's a good thing for us, because one of the things that we have to do is get back to game management quickly. But taking penalties, getting your sticks on the ice, line changes, knowing that we need 5 fresh guys on the ice, all those things have to come back to us really quick. Okay? We've covered a lot of stuff in 3 days. Use it. Think about it a little bit, talk about it on the bench, but play hockey and get back to game management skills. Let's go.
To be ready for game day, and again, it wasn't a traditional first exhibition game. You had 2 real NHL teams going head to head. We wanted to make sure, again, that no players were struggling with sleep, that they might be quote unquote limping into the game and not be mentally sharp and potentially put themselves at a risk for injury. From a player health and performance staff standpoint, we're not concerned about the outcome of the game. We're concerned about getting players out of the game healthy and feeling good about themselves.
It's almost like having your kids around. You're just watching and waiting for something bad to happen. And fortunately, the vast majority of times, nothing bad does happen and they do fine. The preparation that went into getting ready for a hockey game at Rod Laver Arena was tremendous. So we were in constant contact with paramedics, primary care doctors, ER doctors, basically the entire medical staff in Australia in the weeks heading up until getting there. So we had to make sure we had our emergency action plan ironed out with them, not only before we got there, but we rehearsed it once we were actually in Rod Laver. I think that's one of the great advantages of the relationship that we have with the Kings and being embedded in the training facility, is that I know all the guys pretty well. So when they have one of these injuries, which can have a substantial impact on their career, they know me, I know them, and we trust each other to get through it. But the Australians were so excited to have hockey, and they did such a good job in supporting us when we were there.
Welcome to Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne, Australia for the 2023 NHL Global Series.
The passion was incredible. Both games were sold out, And what really, I don't know if surprised me or impressed me is maybe a better word, but the fans knew the game. Hockey fans behave a certain way during the games, and these fans knew what they were doing.
The crowd was rocking. You know, they were really excited for hockey. Everyone had jerseys on, whether it be Kings jerseys or they're just their favorite team. And they stayed there till the final horn.
The atmosphere here was unbelievable. I mean, to have 2 sold-out games back-to-back nights, you know, when you come to a new country, you don't really know how the game's going to be received, but, you know, give the fans in the city a lot of credit and respect the way that they treated us and the way that they came and showed up for us.
I would say it's an unreal experience. It's getting here and getting home that isn't very convenient. But we committed to it, and we've done 3/4 of it. Now we'll work hard and getting back and starting training camp all over.
Getting back, I think the league and the players union and the various staff involved were really good about listening to the different experts involved and making sure that we didn't have to force players into bad situations when we got home. We were fortunate that a lot of the games that were in LA at the time of us returning, we weren't forced to play a lot of veterans that had been in Australia, and they were allowed to take time to readjust.
For the most part, we knew that the guys who will be in contention here in this final week were going to come from that Australia group. But there was also this super unique opportunity for the players who weren't in Australia because they were going to play in 1 or 2 more exhibition games than they would have in any other year. I do think it's a very tough year to be a guy who's trying to come off the radar and make the roster.
So we had basically the 1 game when we were gone here, but then we came home, we had 3 that we weren't playing any of the guys that went to, or sprinkling 1 or 2 in at the end of that. And what we started to notice was these kids that were playing would be getting spots that they could excel in, whether it's power play, whether it's penalty kill, or whether it's regular minutes in the middle.
There was that opportunity for those guys, and now we're seeing one of those players cross over from your Group B to your Group A. So while I wasn't watching a ton of Alex Laferriere, you're hearing about him from a lot of people, and now he's in a place to where he's past other guys on the depth chart. Rookie faceoff, he had a goal in both games. He's had a goal or an assist in every exhibition game. He's been a really good skater. He's doing a lot of things well.
He got the benefit of the doubt during that suspension to Arthur, the first game of the preseason when we were in Salt Lake to play alongside Dubois and Fiala. And he fit with a lot of different characteristics. Saw some real good things with him. So then when Todd wanted to get the 12-man roster, he was the next guy up.
The instincts he has on the ice fit our team real well. He has some physicality. We've talked about his pace of play, which has been real good. So I think he's got a lot of the tools that he needs and that we need of him to play in the National Hockey League.
The stakes are as high as they've been since you've been here. Luke comes in and says the goals will win the Stanley Cup. Rob says we have the potential to win. How do you deal with these highest expectations since you've been here?
Well, those 2 things happen in May and June, and we're in September. My job's to deal with right now and to make sure that we're getting the most out of the players that we have so that we get better throughout the year so we can put ourselves in that position to compete.
From downtown Los Angeles and Crypto.com Arena, it's opening night as the LA Kings play host to the Colorado Avalanche. A full house is expected, 18,000 plus, as the Kings embark on their 57th NHL season.
We got to take it this year. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't matter what everyone's saying. It just matters what we think. We think we have a very good squad, and we think we got a good chance of doing some damage.
3 weeks of training camp, preseason games, the pomp and circumstance of opening night, that's all over. Now we play some hockey here in Los Angeles.
Tonight's about us getting out there and doing what we can do and then taking it and evaluating it.
Roy behind for Rampton and kicks it to his stick, chip to the front. McKinnon scores! scores! Hurry behind the back, right to McCarr, step shoot, scores! The three-point night for Mikko Rantanen, a 3-0 lead for Colorado.
As a coach, you're always looking for direction. You're trying to figure out where your team needs to go, what it needs to work on. Are we playing at a good pace? Are we slow or are we fast? Are we physical or are we passive? These two teams will give us direction.
Hurry up to get to that puck before Grundstrom wiping out was Manson, so was Johnson, and they score! And the Kings are on the board.
Off the draw, the Kings bounce it in on goal, loose puck, score! With 4.6 seconds left in the second period, the Kings are to within a goal.
Here's McCarr across the ice for Jack Johnson. With a wrist shot, scores!
And that'll do it. Last year's Central Division champions come into LA here on opening night and defeat the Kings by a score of 5-2.
What happens at the beginning of the year is you can be 0-2 or 2-0 and you're happy, or the world is crashing down on you, but that same thing can happen in February, and it's just part of an 82-game schedule. So I think you can't get too high, you can't get too low, and it's about evaluating where your team is and making the adjustments day to day to make sure it's getting better or it can move forward.
It's not a recipe for success to start games like that long term. So if we want to end up where we want to go, I think that's an area we need to improve on.
Let's go, get one. Let's go, one.
Centers, Jackson tight, save, score!
Yeah! Boy. Oh my God.
Hello.
Lucy!
Hi, bud.